Hello everyone, my name is Adriana and welcome to Full Moon Yoga for Women with an X. It's so nice to have you here, friends, family, some newcomers, some old comers. We practice this every month on the full moon, and we kind of mirror what the full moon is doing, breaking down at this time of the month. And we break down ourselves, letting go of the things that aren't serving us anymore and leaving space to build, to grow the things that are. My friend Skylar will take us away in our energy update for the month. She is a Reiki master, nutritionist, an amazing woman. Take it away, Skylar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for all coming. There's quite a few of us tonight, and that's really beautiful. I think we've all gotten the call to need some nourishment. So what I do at the beginning of these moon updates for those that are new is that I give a little bit of an energy update of what's going on with the moon based on where it is astrologically in representation to Earth and how that would be affecting our vibration or energy right now. So the moon is in Cancer right now. So that sort of means to us all something slightly different based on what our astrological sign is. However, the main themes that will be coming through right now, and that you might have noticed already because the full moon was actually yesterday, so at its highest vibration yesterday. However, for the next 2 weeks, as the moon wanes, these similar energetic themes might still be representing themselves and coming up for you. So right now it's really a duality between recognizing what is really important for us in career, but then also what is really important for us in our day-to-day lives, in our everyday lives. And so this might create more flow for us right now, or this might bring up some resistance in areas of that work life or of that everyday life that brings you joy. You might recognize where there's not a lack of joy, or where there's a lack of joy in your life, and you might be really feeling like you need more excitement and more joy in your life, and lean into that and recognize where there's areas and spaces in which you can create some more space for yourself to really dive into the things that excite you and that bring you that joy. So this might come up in your career as well, and you might feel some sense of extra motivation and extra drive to create things in your life for your career to support you. But then that might also, the duality in it might be that you might see resistance coming up, whether it's your conditioning, whether it's fear-based. And so recognizing and being honest with that for yourself as well, and recognizing where that resistance is. And first, in order to understand the resistance, we have to speak truth to it. So either speaking truth through it through journaling, or speaking truth to it by maybe talking with a friend or a therapist or someone that you connect to, can help you to see how you can get rid of this resistance in order to allow more flow in your life. So that balance there. And then the last thing that I really wanted to talk about today, as far as creating more of that spaciousness for yourself, it might come up in relationship as well. So whether you are someone who is in a relationship, that might come through as recognizing that you want to have maybe certain boundaries or barriers within your relationship that you didn't really recognize before, or there might be more of a sense of play that you want to bring into your relationship. And if you are someone that is not in relationship right now, then what might be coming through for you is really getting clear on the things that, again, excite you in your life, and the things within a partner that would excite you, and really speaking truth through this, again, through your journaling or through just contemplating for yourself, so that you can attract in that partner that you're really looking for. So this time in the next 2 weeks, as the moon has become full and is getting smaller, really recognizing for yourself what it is that brings you that joy, that brings you that excitement, and really honoring the things that are creating resistance, or the things that you want to maybe get rid of or remove from your life that is no longer serving you. hope that makes sense for you and resonates in its own ways for you. And I will let Adriana take it away with the yoga and really feeling this and letting this flow through your energy with this yoga class.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Skylar. Whew, I've definitely been feeling the full moon this month myself. Was getting a little judgmental of myself yesterday. The full moon was yesterday. And then I had a moment of letting that go and just kind of noticing and allowing and talking to myself. And it was just like Skylar said, like noticing the things coming up, the resistance that I felt of like all these feelings, but then coming around to the other side and instead of resisting, allowing them. And that's really what I want us to do in this practice. We're going to be doing our full moon ritual, our full moon salutation, and then we're going to end with a nice yin. So if you don't already have some cushions, some maybe rolled up towels, blocks, or books, go grab them for yourself now, and we'll meet on the mat. Just begin here in a seated position, grounding through our sits bones, lifting through our chest. Maybe you roll your shoulders back slightly, and just breathe here. Taking the time to reflect inward. Yoga is the process of self-examination, non-judgmental self-examination. Notice where your breath goes as you inhale into your chest or your belly. And notice as you exhale. Do you feel your shirt on your belly as it rises and falls on your chest? Check in with your body here. Are you sore from shoveling all that snow? Are you feeling loose, open today? Check in with your mind. What are the thoughts today? Are you being kind and loving to yourself, to others? Is there any resistance you're noticing? And check in with your emotions. What words would you use right now to describe them? You can say them to yourself and let them go. Take a deep breath in, first filling the belly. Take another breath in, the chest. Take another breath in, filling the shoulders. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release out your mouth. Let's do that again. We breathe into the belly. A little more into the chest, a little more into the shoulders, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and let that go with a big sigh. One more time into the belly, into the chest, into the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, sigh and release. Wonderful. Breathe in, lifting yourself up here. Standing at the front of your mat or in the middle, wherever you're comfortable. And just take time here to align your body, tucking that tailbone, rolling the shoulders back. Lifting from the arches of your feet, not collapsing, but lifting. Breathing here in mountain pose. You can close your eyes. Lift your toes a couple times and lower them. Breathe in, lifting your arms, your hands up over your head. Grab the left wrist with the right hand. Breathe out, stretching over to the right here. Your hips will bop a little to the left. Breathe in to come up. Breathe out to stretch over. Breathe in to come up. Let's switch our hands. Left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe out to stretch over to the left. Your hips will bop to the right. Breathe in to come up a bit. And breathe out to stretch over. Breathe in, lifting yourself back up. You can bring your hands to your low back here. Breathe in, looking forward. Breathe out, leaning back slightly, drawing your shoulder blades together. Little chest opener, heart opener, and a little back bend. Maybe you look up at the ceiling if that feels good to you. And bring your hips forward, but listen to your body. Meet yourself where you are today. And as we exhale, we release that. You can shake it out a little. Open your arms up, your legs up into a 5-pointed star. We'll bring our heels in and bend our knees, coming into this goddess pose, bending our elbows, tucking that tailbone. We can sway here, and I want you to imagine that we're holding that full moon in our hands here, breathing in that energy, drawing things to the surface, our emotions, perhaps the things that we're resisting, and as we exhale, we release. Breathe in, we straighten our legs. Take your right foot and make it parallel with the edge of the mat. Take your right hips, bump them to the back of the mat, opening up for triangle pose. Breathe in, opening up your arms. Breathe out, bringing that left hand down to the left shin. Keep a micro bend in your left knee here. If that feels good, maybe you go a little lower, touching the ground. Using your abdominals, we don't want to collapse in this pose, but hold ourselves up and breathe. Maybe you can look up at the ceiling. Breathe in, lifting yourself back up. Breathe out, bringing your right foot in a little bit and making your hips parallel, setting up for pyramid pose. Breathe in, lifting your arms up. Breathe out, we bring our arms down to our left shin here. You should already feel a nice stretch in your left hamstring, your left behind the leg. Maybe you can lower down and touch the floor. Release your head and neck for a moment, allowing the blood to rush to your brain, oxygenating it, allowing you to think more clearly, breathing. Big sigh out as you exhale. Breathe in, looking forward, and step that right foot back, lowering the right knee, pointing or curling those right toes, coming into a low lunge. Left foot forward, right foot back. And just lift your stomach up off your thigh here, fingers on the ground, looking forward. Breathe in, perhaps you come up, hands on your thigh, or hands up over your head. Again, imagining you're holding that full moon, breathing in that energy. And as you exhale, big release, bringing your hands down to either side of your left foot. Breathe in. We're gonna walk our hands to the middle of our legs here. And we're gonna heel toe our feet together, coming down into a yogi squat here, little froggy pose. You might be on your tippy toes here. That's totally fine. Meet yourself where you are today. You might be able to bring your heels down to the ground. You might have your hands in front of you. You might be able to bring them together in front of your heart, elbows pressing against your knees. We're aiming for a straight back here, drawing our tailbone down, shoulders away from the ears. And breathe here, opening where you can. Noticing if you're resisting this pose, if you're tensing your muscles around the glutes perhaps. Maybe you're clenching your jaw as your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Try to release that all. Take another deep breath in and exhale. From this pose, we're going to open back up into that wide-legged pose and come to the right. Right foot forward, left foot back, lowering that left knee down, low lunge on the other side. You can point or curl your toes here. And right here with our fingertips on the ground, we lift that stomach off that thigh. Perhaps you come up, hands on the thigh for support, or hands up over your head, imagining you're holding that full moon between your arms, absorbing its energy, allowing it to draw things to the surface, to learn from them. And with a big sigh, we let go, bringing our hands down to either side of that right foot. Breathe in, tucking the left toes under, and stepping that left foot forward. Breathe out, breathe in, lifting yourself up, setting up for that pyramid pose on the other side. So in pyramid pose, your hips are parallel. Breathe in, lifting your hands up. Breathe out, folding forward, hands down to the right shin if that feels good. Maybe you put them down on the ground. You should feel a nice stretch in this back right hamstring, this back right leg. And release that head, that neck down to the ground. Surrender here, allowing the blood to flow to your brain for a moment, breathing. Big exhale. Breathe in, lifting yourself up. Breathe out, we open up that left leg, setting up for triangle pose on the other side. Your left foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Your right foot is facing forward. Bump that left hip to the back of the mat. Breathe in, opening your arms up. Micro bend in that right knee. Breathe out, bringing the right hand down to the right shin. See how that feels before bringing that hand perhaps down to the ground. Try not to collapse in your abdominals here, but keep them strong. Perhaps you look up, perhaps you look down. Breathe in, lifting yourself up, and bring that right foot facing forward, both feet parallel with the edges of the mat. We'll bring those heels in again and bend the knees, coming back again into that goddess pose, tucking that tailbone. We bend our elbows, and you can wiggle your fingers here, swaying left and right, imagining that you're absorbing that moon energy. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We straighten our legs. 5-pointed star and hop your feet together. Well done. Breathe in, lifting your arms up over your head, grabbing the left wrist with your right hand. Breathe out, stretching over to the right, hips bopping to the left a little. Breathe in, we switch our hands, left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe out, we stretch over to the left, hips bopping to the right a little. Breathe in, we come again with our arms behind us, interlacing them together. If you were just shoveling snow, you're gonna feel this in your biceps. Opening up your chest here, breathing. Looking forward, maybe you look up. and we release, giving ourselves a nice hug here to counter that. Well done. And that is the most activity we're doing. Come on down to the ground. Let us commence our yin practice here. We bring our feet together, coming into butterfly or Baddha Konasana. And you can play around with how close your heels are to your pelvis. Maybe further away feels good. Maybe closer feels good. You can grab your your ankles and just pull your spine up straight, rolling your shoulders back. Deep breath in, grounding through those sits bones. And as you exhale, we'll walk our hands forward. This is a great time to grab some pillows and draping your body over the pillows here, stacking as many as you need. If you don't have pillows, you don't need them. Simply find a comfortable stretch, not a strain, and release your head, your neck down. In yin positions, we use gravity and our body weight to help stretch our bodies. We hold these poses for about 3 minutes, maybe a little longer, a little shorter, depending. And after we've gotten comfortable, we really try to find stillness. As you breathe here, notice the thoughts that are coming up. Bring yourself again and again to this moment here through the breath. Notice if there's resistance mentally or physically. And just try to let it go with every exhale. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in. And on your next inhale, you'll lift yourself up. We'll take that left foot and bring it forward. And you're gonna roll forward, tucking that right foot behind you. Coming up with these right angles in both your knees, both your legs. My pillows are in the way. We're gonna turn ourselves towards that left knee. And you can drape your body down on this knee, lowering yourself into position. This is one variation of this pose. If you'd like to go deeper, if this is within your ability, you can actually tuck that right leg under, bringing the knee down to the ground, setting up for pigeon pose. Pointing the toe and bringing your body down over that left leg. So it's up to you where you are today in your body and meeting yourself there. We're either in that right angle pose or in pigeon pose. And we'll find some stillness using your pillows as needed. It helps in these positions to do a body scan, starting with your jaw, with your face, noticing, are you holding any tension there? Where is your tongue? Is it pressed firmly to the top of your mouth? Perhaps let that go. Notice your shoulders. Are they creeping up to your ears? Draw them away from your ears. Your hands, are they clenched? Can you release them? Your abdomen, your glutes. Often I clench them in these hip openers. Check your legs, your feet, and anywhere you can release as you exhale. We let it go. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. And on your next breath in, we'll slowly, gently lift ourselves up. Come back into that seated position, back into that Baddha Konasana as a reference point. I'm wondering if you can hear my grandmother moving along upstairs. I normally practice in another room, but due to COVID, I'm here today. I'm hoping it's not disturbing you and that I'm the only one that can hear it, but I had to bring that up. We'll take our right leg this time, bring it forward, flip that left leg behind you, coming back into those right angles. We can come over our right knee, opening up that right glute, that right hip. And if you'd like to go deeper, we tuck that left leg underneath us, drawing the knee down to the ground, pointing the toes, setting up for pigeon pose. Again, using those cushions however you'd like. And bringing yourself down into a stretch, not a strain. You can do that body scan again, starting with the head, the jaw, letting go as we exhale. Noticing our shoulders, our hands, our arms, our abdominals, our glutes, our legs and our feet. Anywhere you notice you're resisting, you notice there's tension, clenching, holding. As you exhale, let that go and allow the stretch to take hold of your body. If your mind wanders, as it does, whenever you notice, bring it back to this breath, to the sensations in your body, to the noises around you, something in this present moment. Let's take 3 more deep breaths in. And on your next inhale, breathe in, lifting yourself up and out. Gently. And coming back into that Baddha Konasana. We can bring our hands behind us, legs forward slightly, and just let your knees fall left and right, giving that femur, that thigh bone, some nice internal and external rotation. We'll bend our left leg, bringing the knee in front of your pelvis here, and you can cross your right foot just to the outer edge of that left thigh. And you can squeeze it in, and you should feel a stretch in your glute here. So you can stay here. This is modification 1. If you'd like to go deeper, if this is within your ability, you can actually cross that right knee on top of that left knee. Womxn, cow face pose. And I like to get a cushion here. Breathe in and lower myself down. I'm gonna get a couple cushions here, right onto this cushion. So find some stillness wherever you are, if you're holding your knee towards yourself, or if you're in Womxn. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, gently take yourself out of this pose. Uncrossing your legs. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We bend that right knee, bringing the right knee in front of your pelvis and crossing the left foot just to the outer edge of your right thigh. You can hug that knee towards your chest, and you should feel a stretch in that left glute. If this is good for you, stay here. If you'd like to go a little deeper, we stack those knees, Womxn. Perhaps you get your pillows. Breathe in, lifting yourself up, and breathe out, finding a nice place to rest here, to release. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. And on your next inhale, you can lift yourself up slowly out of that position and crossing your legs. You can lean back again and just let your knees fall. Ooh, slowly to the left and to the right. Ooh. Wonderful. We'll come to our backs here. Sorry, not onto our backs. Come onto our knees here. And I'd like you to sit with either leg on either side of yourself here. And we're gonna set up, excuse my confusing language, some pillows behind our backs. You may not need these pillows, but it's good to have them to start. And we're just gonna lay ourselves down on these pillows. This is so good to open up that lower back. You can let your head loose here. And if you're able to, you might take a pillow away or 2, or all of them. Just find a place that feels good for your back. And we're gonna lower ourselves down, opening up that lower back. If there's any poses ever that don't work for you, just adjust it. Our bodies are different. Each day they feel different, and we meet them where they are. If my words don't work for you, make an adjustment. Perhaps you do a different pose until you join us again. Take care of yourself. My words are but a guide. Once again, if your mind begins to wander, bring it back to this moment here, perhaps with the breath, by focusing on the sensations in your body, perhaps on the points where your body touches the floor, or the sounds in your room. Everything else can wait. You are exactly where you need to be. Let's take 3 more breaths in. And on the next inhale, you'll slowly ease yourself out of this position. And this time we will bring our legs forward. Coming into a seated position here, bend your knees as much as you need. Maybe grab a pillow, put them on your legs. Breathe in, lifting your arms up. And breathe out, draping your body over your legs. You may not need a pillow. Just allowing your body and gravity to do the work, palms facing up. This is a very passive stretch. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, lift yourself up. Grab some pillows for our final pose. Ending with a nice heart opener here. I like to really open my heart here. You might not want as big of an opening, so just play around with it. We're going to rest our bodies over our pillows here, bringing our head down to the ground. You might even let your head, the crown chakra, touch the ground here. And you can play around with where your hands are, maybe on your belly or beside you on either side. You can open up your legs as wide as the mat. Maybe you bend your knees, bringing them together. Find a position that feels good and just allow yourself to open up here, to open your heart. I'm going to put on some soothing music here. can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. You can move those pillows to one side. Bring your knees into your stomach, rolling over and ending where we began in this seated position. You can bring your hands together, press them against your chest, against your chart for a moment, and up to the middle of your forehead, the third eye where your intuition lies. We'll end with 3 chants of Om. Join me if you feel like it. We breathe in together. Breathe in. Breathe in. Namaste. And Namaste is simply the highest version of me, acknowledging that in all of you. I love that yoga is really the connection to my highest self. I've been in my lowest self for far too long, and I'm happy to meet you here today. Thank you so much for joining me, for joining us.